I think election petitions, judgments are constitutional matters. They are constitutional matters. I am repeating this for the third time now. It's a constitutional matter. So it has to end at constitutional court. Most of what the lawyers are quoting are judgments that come from the Supreme Court. They say this verse this verse this, Ngigi verse INEC, Ngigi verse this, Atiku verse this. It is a judgment of the Supreme Court. So if election is a constitutional matter, why are you trying to end the election below the constitutional court? You mentioned my case. My case was a sheer robbery, and even the judge who knows, she knows what she did. She knows what she did. And I don't respect her because she knows what she did. Last time, I refused to join issues with my elder brother, my father, Senator Ken Nnamani, who said that he was surprised that I should lie. He used strong word that I should lie against him, that he never contacted me about any judge. It is a lie. He contacted me, and he sent me text messages. What happened was this. There's no, my election is the election judgment delivered by that evil judge, Ihemenwosu Jr. Justice Ihemenwosu is an evil judge. It never happened, and she knows what she did. She wanted to go to the Supreme Court. So she wanted to use me to curry favor from the hand of politicians. That was why her name was under. That means her name was in the reserve list. So they brought down senior judges above her and elevated her so she can be made to go to the Supreme Court. She know what she did, and she know. Let you look for me, and I'm a senator, two-time senator. So, and I know how I got to this place. Now, youth in this country, I represent the hope of any youth in politics. I won election without any godfather, without anybody. And Nigerian youth say, if you can make it, we can. I mean, we can make it too. Now, what happened was that Nigerian youth, I didn't even know they were organizing. They wanted to picket the Supreme Court on the day of our swearing in. I don't know what they did. From Kano, from Sokoto, from Abuja, they already transported themselves with buses into the country, and they beat security. Somehow, some of them who came from the southeast now leaked it out that Nigerian youth wanted to go and picket the Supreme Court so that they will disrupt our swearing in. It will interest you to know that I am one of the people who fought for the Ministry of Youth to be created in this country. In February 2003, I was one of the few Nigerian youth who sat down and drafted the existing National Youth Policy. One note at the document, February 2003, the National Youth Policy. We created that document. Now, Ministry for Youth was just a unit, not even a department. It was a unit. Today, it was under social development. Tomorrow, it's under youth. Tomorrow, it's under intergovernmental affairs. It was not even a correct directorate under a director. That is the Ministry for Youth. Until when Obasanjo was in power, under the leadership of Ben Dontuye, that time he was the president of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, and I was special advisor to the president of the Youth Council of Nigeria. And we sat down during our ESCO meeting, and we said, let us agitate for the creation of the Ministry for Youth. And we met the president. The president was not in town. We met his vice president that time, Atiku Abubakar, and we had a meeting in the villa. And we said, Mr. President, we want to have a Ministry for Youth. We are not asking for too much. We have drafted the National Youth Policy, February this year. Now, August, we went to him and said, before International Youth Day, we want to have Ministry for Youth. And they gave us Ministry for Youth. So what they are enjoying today, I know some of them, they don't know how we fought for the Ministry for Youth to be created. So we created the Ministry for Youth. And we have a looter. We have youth. We have former youth leaders and former youth leaders who we still meet today. And I'm among the youth leaders, retired youth leaders, former youth leaders. So They met when they didn't tell me they were meeting. They met, and they decided to go and block the Supreme Court. And information filtered to him and Ngosu that there's going to be a blockage. And she contacted Ken Inamani. I have it here on my phone. I can show you text messages from Ken Inamani, who called me and gave me his house number in Asokoro, in Aso Drive, that he should go and discuss. And he told me that, please, he first of all started saying it's not good for my image, it's not good for my future. I told him that, what is future? What is future? You remove me from the Senate, you said that my protesting, youth protesting is not good for my future. So it's good for her future to illegally go and give this stupid judgment. I thought, by the way, I'm not involved in the protest. And Ken Inamani begged me, he begged me. And I looked at him as the former Senate president, as a father. And I contacted the people who were going to, don't forget, protesting is a right of every Nigerian. Freedom of gathering is a freedom granted to any Nigerian. To freedom to protest is a freedom of every Nigerian. So they have the right to protest even inside the villa. They have the right to protest at the Supreme Court. They have the right to protest in the National Assembly. They have the right to protest inside the government house. After all, it's our government house. It's our National Assembly belongs to the Nigerian people. It is the villa that belongs to the Nigerian people. It is our all common heritage. So what I did was that I contacted him. And I had to go night, hotel to hotel. I virtually knelt down before the youth, before they stopped the protest, because I listened to Ken Inamani. So when he now said that, I regretted listening to him. And tomorrow maybe he will look for another favor from any other youth. So, about the judgment, constitutional matter should be handled by constitutional court. And in this case, election matter is a constitutional matter. And so, it should be handled at the constitutional end. Talking about the lack of Supreme Court, the numbers of Supreme Court, it is true. We can enact a law. We can enact a law. And the law that will be enacted is that you can rejab in the military. For example, you have what is called rejab. Rejab in the military means they can call a retired soldier back to say Nigeria is at war, come back to work. You know, retirement in the military is just a name. All the soldiers that are there, they know they are not retired. They know that they are in the reserve. It's a reserve, they are not retired, they are in the reserve. If there is war today, Nigeria is at war fully. They will blow whistle, and every soldier come back to the barrack. Even if you retired 20 years ago, they will give you an uniform back. Go and get an uniform. Go and sign for a rifle. Go to the armory, sign your rifle. You are going to war. So if the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, they are a reserve of Nigerian military. During wartime, retired soldiers can be reserved back to go and fight for the country. The judges of the Supreme Court, retired judges, senior judges, they can also be reserved back and create a constitutional opening, a constitutional window for them to say, we are going back to serve the country. And so that we can have many judges to dispense with the election matters. Okay. Since the courts have become part of democracy, as a matter of fact, the courts are now the ones that are even voting. The people will finish their own, and one judge will go somewhere and negotiate how much we will take and sell the judgment. We should not allow it to end at the lower court. There are so many magu at the Court of Appeal. I've just said it because it's a constitutional matter. The president of the Court of Appeal, shame on her. Shame on you. Mesa, shame on you. She is in charge of that rubbish. Shame on you. I tell her, this is our country. And let me tell you something. You see, the judges feel nobody can do them anything. A lot can be done to them. There was a time in this country when soldiers thought that nobody can do them anything. Today, we see ragtag people ransacking the barrack, chasing soldiers out of their barracks, taking their weapons, abducting soldiers, killing soldiers. Have you ever thought in your life as a child that there will ever be time in this country when soldier will be attacked in his barrack? Not by foreign army, by local militias within the country. Have you ever thought of it? It is happening today. What do you think this judge, they think they can just toil people's life and go scot-free. It will not continue. APC today have destroyed PDP. Now everybody now within the PDP, they have become so agitated and they have become refugees. They created a problem in the Labour Party. We know all these things. They created a problem in the Labour Party. Their thought is that after creating problem in all of these parties, they will now become the only strong party. But they are wrong. The problem they created in all these parties have made everybody become a refugee. So we all now gather in one big refugee camp and come against them. And that's what is happening today. You will hear the meeting is taking place tomorrow or next tomorrow. The National Consultative Forum of all coalition people coming together. Some of them are from the APC, including sitting senators. Sitting senators in the APC. They're part of the coalition. And one of the mistakes that the APC are making, they think by poaching governors, it will give them victory. They don't read. They don't study. They don't look at the trends, at the history of elections. In 2023 alone, do you know how many governors supported Aswaju? APC had 20 state governors supporting Aswaju. PDP led by Wike, Otom, Uwany, Ikpazu, Makinde, 5 PDP governors worked for Aswaju. 25 governors came together to see that Aswaju was elected the president. Do you know how many states he won? 12 states. 25 governors supported him, yet he won only 12 states. So what is this fuse about governors wanted to go and governor of Delta decamped to APC? They are clapping hand.
Oh, we hear more.
And Okowa, the former governor, who is a former senator, 2011, 2015, he was a Central Delta North. 2015, 2019, and 23, he was a sitting governor. He was the vice presidential candidate of PDP. He could not deliver Delta to himself. Peter Obi defeated him in Delta. You see, Nigerians are becoming wiser and wiser. So if you cannot deliver Delta to yourself, is it as what you will deliver? He's running away because of the FCC case against him. And that is the truth. Do you know how many votes he got? 161,000 votes. Do you know how many votes Peter Obi got? 364,000. So Peter Obi defeated Okowa in Delta. And look at the states. Let me tell you another analysis. In 2023 elections, do you know how many state governors could not deliver their state to their presidential candidate? 21 state governors could not deliver their state to their own presidential candidate. What made them think that by poaching governor, the team governors give them election? Governors have money, and governors have more enemies in their state than anybody. Nigerian governors being given their own police, and they own the courts, they own prisons. Only God knows how many of their political opponents they will put to prison. But you cannot throw the baby with the bathwater. We have to find a way through which you can have a legislation where a federal offense, a state offense, and a federal appeal vis-a-vis is created in the creation of this state police. I believe that if state police is created, anyway, there's already an existing state police. It's not that they don't name them state police. If you go to Lagos, you say they have LASMA. LASMA have the power to arrest. LASMA have the power to detain. They have the power to prosecute. So there's already existing state police.
You have a Moteco in the southeast.
Yes, even though it is not actually recognized by the federal government, but they are implementing it. Now, I believe in the power of state police. If state governors who are stealing money made for security, the security votes, and the stealing also of money that comes to security at the federal level, because trillions of naira is being budgeted, and you don't even see the opaque purchasing, and even at the clearing system. I know what I'm saying, you know, and if anybody say I'm lying, let him come and challenge me, I will give him proof. some of the ammunitions that they say they will buy and import into Nigeria is not being imported. They'll fill paper and say they bought it. They bought it.
How do you know that?
Because investigations have shown, we have seen issue of Dasuki is still in the court, and we know what we know. Believe me, we know what we know. So let's not go there. Let's not go there before I call other people's names.
No, don't call more names.
So now, when we create state police, recognized by the Constitution, legislated and passed into law, it will help seriously. For example, I'm aspiring to become a governor tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, it will help me to look at the weaknesses as exposed by Governor Zulum, where he accused certain security agencies of sponsoring Boko Haram because it has become a cash cow. If Boko Haram finish, they won't have the kind of money they are having. So the place of a military is in the barracks. Now they have tested the streets. They don't want to go back to the barracks. If you have state police, assuming now, in 2022, 21, 22, I wrote a proposal to the Inspector General of Police, and I asked him to establish counter-terrorism unit in Adamawa State, made up of 1,500 trained mobile anti-terrorist unit in Adamawa, 1,500 with full air power, that is helicopters, that is they can fly for surveillance and for war, with armored personnel carriers. We now station 500 in Madagali, station 500 maybe in Huang, station 500 in Garkida. We now built a buffer around Sambisa forest. Okay. And they will put up bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger CCTVs. Navy have what they call Falcon Eye. The Falcon Eye of the Navy, while you are in Abuja, you are seeing what is happening in our ocean. Do you know that when you are in naval headquarters, you are seeing what is happening in Calabar, you are seeing what is happening on Atlantic Ocean. You are seeing it there. So we can create this too, so that you are seeing the movement of all Boko Haram 200 kilometers away. You can see them. And you can now send bomb with drone and bomb them and continue map a place. 20 kilometers were clean of Boko Haram. You continue to clear. You continue to clear. I believe we can fight it if we have the zeal to end it. And I am in support of state police. But a lot of legislation have to be made. And they should not be involved also in election matters. And if this is done, I think